This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. During the next hour, the insane Daryl Wayne and I are going to take a look at a couple of things, and we may even do some weather reports from Daryl and my situation. We're here in Southern California, and it is raining and raining hard. It is really bad. I've had brownouts, and there's been thunder and lightning over where Daryl is. During the second part of our show, we're going to talk about a new company, and we're going to talk about diabetes and nutrition. During the first part of our show, we're going to speak with Dr. Paul L. Hanna. He's a medical doctor, and I think there was a light switch that went on in his head at some time, and all of a sudden, he's really great at diagnosing and telling people what's matter and all that. Dr. Hanna, welcome to Late Night Health.
Well, thank you for having me here. I'm very glad to be here so I can be of service to you,
Well, thank you. The name of Dr. Hanna's book is Remembering Qualities of Your Soul, Joyfully Living Your God Self. As a medical doctor, you grew up as a scientist. I mean, yes. Didn't you?
Yes. Yes, I did. But as you continue to expand your awareness and your consciousness and understand that everything is energy, you had to look at things a little bit different because we had realized there's one energy, one love. And so as I got deep into that, I began to look at things a little bit different as to how I can help people come back to a radiant oneness with themselves. So that took me back to another aspect beyond the physical body, I call spirit, I call soul, which is eternal. They go back to the oneness of everything, So once you become oneness, you realize that every human being that came on this planet have a responsibility. No one can breathe for Mr. Alyn. Mr. Alyn got to breathe for himself. So Mr. Alyn needs to learn how to be responsible. And so many people I found in the medical patients, they wanted the doctor to be responsible for them. And I said, some people might like that. I thought I was wasn't being responsible if I took all the responsibility for the patient. So I want to teach them how to be responsible, to get in contact with the eternal aspect of themselves. And once you respect that and become responsible for that, you begin to radiate, So that's how
one of the things that we talk about a lot here at Late Night Health is the fact that going to a doctor, whether it's any healthcare professional, it's a partnership.
For sure, it's 1,000% is a partnership. You got to understand it's a triadship. I call it a triad, And so it is the patient, it is the physician. There's a universal energy that you got to connect with. So when you connect with that triad, then you have some remarkable healing to take place. So if you look at just the doctor yourself, there's another force there. So I teach people to look at that triad that way.
There's something bigger than both of us.
Yes, much bigger than both of us. And yet, I tell people, look at the sun. That's one great sun that gives us energy, but so many rays come from the sun. And each one of us is an individualized ray. When you have the courage and the responsibility to look at that individualized ray, then when you individualize, you can radiate. Then you can align yourself. You can align yourself with that universal energy, that force to bring you back to your own health.
So I don't know what kind of a doctor are you? And do you still practice medicine?
For sure. I still practice. So let me give you a little history about me. So I always liked the mind. So when I started with the medical school, I was very good at the internal part. And I said, I don't want to do internal medicine. They said, well, you're very good at this. I said, yes, but I want to do real medicine. What's real medicine? I said, dealing with the mind. They said, wait a minute, you're wasting your time. I said, no, I really desire to be a psychiatrist. So, and also concurrently, I was also doing internal martial arts, the energy. And during that time, I began to get a different perspective of the mind, and I went beyond the personality to the soulality. Because a lot of just Western medicine and psychiatry is only dealing with the personality. It's not the depth of what we need to be dealing with. So it took me deeper and deeper. So from there, I became board certified in psychiatry. child psychiatry, adult psychiatry, and that wasn't enough for me.
Hmm.
I went to China to study acupuncture at Nanjing University. Before then, I went to Berkeley School of acupuncture for physicians. And I kept going deeper and deeper and deeper. Then I realized I can feel people and read people. And, you just had to look at things, how people can become more in tune to themselves. Because in tune to themselves, I want, as I said, to be responsible. Can you be responsible for that's not within you? And that's kind of a challenge on this planet right now because we're so connected to the third dimension. We're so connected to the sensation of attachment to so many things that pulls you away from your originality, your complete soul self. So I had to bring people back to that, to be responsible for themselves.
When you came to the realization and went back to school to become an acupuncturist, how did your family react? They say,
Well,
hey, wait, whoa.
Let's go back even before then. You got to realize no one in my family ever became a physician. I'm a little bit different. So I just said one day I was going to be like, I went to, let's back up. I went to IIT. It's a big Illinois Institute of Technology, just like MIT. And so I went there for my master's in psychology. So like, and I never would have studied. I got there and I said, wow. I looked in. I'd never been in a white university. I said, well, what are the black folks at? He said, you're the only one here at this class. I said, okay. I said, wow, this is interesting. And he said, well, you got to get a B. I said, why? Because you want to be in graduate school, you got to get a B. I said, whoa, this is different. But anyway, I got all A's and B's from IIT. At that point, I was about to graduate. And I saw someone. I said, well, if he's a doctor, I can be a doctor. But I got to step to the University of Wisconsin for my PhD. I said, I don't want a PhD. I want an MD. So I went back, got all my pre-meds to go to medical school.
Oh my.
So everybody thought I was crazy. The professor at IIT said, "You gonna be a doctor?" I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna be a doctor." He said, if you're gonna step out by your Grey's Anatomy." I said, "Okay." I got accepted. Everybody backed off. I said, "Now I'm in medical school. It's like I'm going to take these challenges, to break through all these things." And I realized that's a deep force in me that most people make take a judgment. I know it's inside of me. So that's why I went back to medical school. No one did. I did all of this. I graduated before times, and I said, let me go to this way to become a psychiatrist because I like mind. I like energy. And so, yeah, my family thought I was a little crazy. They thought I was a little bit different, leave it like that. They thought I was different. So did a lot of people. That's one part of being responsible, Mr. Allen. You have to have the courage to be yourself. You have to have the courage to stand up and say, well, I am Mark Alyn, and I'm not judging you. You can't judge me. You understand? So when you have the courage to stand up, to individualize, to be truly who you are, then you're qualified to attract someone that you can be joyful with, happy with. You understand?
We're going to be taking a break in a moment, and I want to know if, in your opinion, doctor, most people are happy with, thoughts of inflation and recession and political strife and people getting killed and murders and people snapping and walking into malls and shooting. And do you think the American people are happy? And if not, what can they do about it? I'm going to get that answer from you in just a couple of moments. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. And we are here in Southern California, and as we record this, Daryl and I are considering building an ark because it is raining very hard here. Actually, as I say this, I'm looking out my window and the sun is peeking through, but it's a little bit difficult. We're going to take a break. We want you to join us at latenighthealth.com. That's latenighthealth.com. I'm Mark Alyn, along with Dr. Paul Hanna and the insane Daryl Wayne. We will be back. Don't go away. Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com. Late Night Health is proud of our partnership with the EBC, the Evolutionary Business Council. Check them out at ebcouncil.com.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Alyn. The show continues in a moment. If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Daryl Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308.
Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Words are a critical aspect of success. How you get your point across is a crucial part of what makes anything sell. So do it right and hire a writer. Whether it's articles, blog posts, technical writings, website content, product descriptions, or ghostwriting anything from a novel to a nonfiction book about your navel, contact Servet Hassan. If you want it to sell, write it right. Email Servet at servet@servethassan.com.
Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Be sure to visit us at latenighthealth.com, and you can hear us every place. I mean, Apple, Google, iHeart, Pod Clips. It goes on and on. We get notices every now and then that we've been picked up by a network, and they don't even ask us. They just take us. And I'm fine with that. Our guest from Dallas, Texas is Dr. Joseph Antoun. He is the CEO and chairman of the board of L-Nutra. And we're going to find out now what L-Nutra is all about. One of their mission statements is to create products and knowledge to help people live to be 110 and beyond. Send me something, doctor. I want something. I mean...
Yeah. We can send you a few things now. We've been, so just to help the audience know a little bit more about us, we're called L-Nutra. L is for longevity through nutrition. We are a spin-off from University of Southern California. So our research is based in LA around USC. And USC has 23 years ago posed two questions critical for humanity and that we're trying to answer. Question number one is, how come we as humans have not figured out what we need to eat or what we should be eating to live a healthy, long life, right? That's one of the most important questions. Every day, we're left to our own choices of preference on our tongue to go and grab food and eat. But no one company has ethically put clinical trials and science to tell humans what you should eat every day to live a healthy, long life. And this is what we do. And we've been doing research for 23 years to help people know what they should eat to live a healthy, long life. That has become today our consumer part of our company, and it's called Prolon. A lot of people know the word Prolon. We have a lot of products under the name of Prolon, and it's the only pipeline of nutrition that has patents fully issued on promoting human longevity and a lot of clinical trials behind it. We'll talk more about that. The second question that USC posed some 23 years ago is how come if we have one disease out of the four big killers, Alzheimer's, cardiovascular, cancer, and autoimmune, and diabetes, how come we've never tailored nutrition, our food, so that it helps medicine to increase remission rate? How come if you're diabetic, we don't know exactly today what you should eat? If you have cancer, many of us have people with cancer around us. Have you ever heard of your doctor saying, "Oh, and they prescribe them this specific food coming from this company because it increases remission by 200% from cancer"? Nothing.
No.
Alzheimer's. Anyone here, listening can raise a hand. I ask that every time I'm on a stage. I ask, who knows what to eat if you have Alzheimer's? Nobody raises a hand.
What about preventing Alzheimer's? Because I think people 40, 50 plus wake up every morning going, "Oh, great, I'm Mark. I know who I am."
Yeah.
And they're afraid of waking up and going, "Where am I? Who am I?"
This goes back to where we started. It's aging. So if you want to prevent Alzheimer's, it's the same way you can, and prevent doesn't mean fully prevent, but we can delay. It's same way with cancer, diabetes, and autoimmune. It's the aging of the body. So, and this is why we exist, is how can we, our entire mission, we say we want to keep people living 110 beyond. How we do that is how can we use nutrition to slow down the aging of the body? How Mark, who's today, say 60, how can I keep Mark's cells at 50? Because if I keep your cells at 50, or I create a delta of 10 years between your chronological age and your biological age, at least that's the best gift I can give you, or a best chance for you to live these extra 10 years. And given the correlation, what we talked about between aging and the chronic diseases. So the best gift we felt we can give humans to live a healthy, long life is to slow down their biological age. And we use nutrition to do that. Why nutrition? Because it's the only product you put in your body every day of your life 3 to 5 times a day. So it must carry the biggest signal to your body of aging in a healthy way, or of aging in an accelerated and unhealthy way.
Well, send me whatever you think I need. And one of the things that I talk about a lot is there have been studies on vegan diets. Then there's, we have canine teeth. So people say, some researchers say we're supposed to eat meat.
Yeah.
Where are we? Where do you think we are? Is it a combination? We stay away from certain meats and just eat a lot of carrots and grass?
And this is why we exist. Again, when I said putting science, is to wipe out all these theories that pump up based on a book and based on selling an idea. So we've been studying centenarians, people living 100 and beyond, for the last 2 decades. Right. We follow them around the world. We see what they eat. We come back to the labs. We apply the same nutrition to mice, and what works, we take it to human, and then we do randomized clinical trials in humans to identify what we should eat. And this is how we came up with our Prolon products, with our fast bar fasting shake products. They're all designed to help you age slower. To answer your question, the 2 aging factors that increase when you eat are insulin and insulin-like growth factor. When you eat carbs, insulin increase. It's a growth factor and it's an aging factor. And when you eat proteins, insulin-like growth factor, we call it IGF, increase. So every time you eat high carbs and high protein, the body is a little bit pushed to age. And so in general, you want to maintain a stable and a lower level. You don't want to spike a lot insulin and IGF. So this is why when people love sugar and they eat a lot of sugar, not only they get they get a little bit of weight, they carry the inflammation increase, and then what we call inflammaging. They age faster. You can see it on their face, you can see it on their body, and they start developing cancer earlier, they start developing Alzheimer's earlier. Same thing, what people don't know, we think proteins are all good. People with high protein intake, they end up spiking IGF multiple times during the day and aging faster. And if you remember the Mr. Olympias and the big bodybuilders, they actually die sooner than the average people because they accelerated the aging mechanism. So this answers.
But they look good.
They look good on the short term because their IGF is high, so the growth factors are high.
Yeah.
And there's an entire industry today that injects you with growth hormone to look good on the short term, and all what they're doing, they're accelerating you reaching your end sooner. And
we only have a couple moments, and I'd like to invite you to come back and we can continue this because this is fascinating and it's totally unique. What are you having for dinner tonight?
I'm having a pescatarian dinner. I'm a pescatarian and a flexitarian, so plant-based. A lot of it comes from nuts and legumes, and then I add fish, and just once or twice a week. Sometimes I add meat, but low level, so once a week I would say, but mainly plant-based plus fish.
Interesting. And do you season it? Is it plain? Is it?
Yeah, by very light seasoning and more less on the salt, but I do add a little bit and more on pepper, and I put a lot of olive oil. Olive oil is great, and nuts. I add nuts to my salads as well.
Oh, that's interesting. I add that to my oatmeal.
Yeah, nuts.
Right.
So there was one big article in the New England Journal of Medicine, it's the #1 science journal of the world, showing that hazelnut, almonds, and cashew, to lesser studied degrees, we believe macadamia as well, but it wasn't included there. They're aging. They're actually a longevity. They have healthy aging impacts on the body. They have the healthy fats. They have the right, complex carbs and the right level of proteins.
We are out of time, Doctor. Our guest has been Dr. Joseph Antoun. He's the CEO and chairman of the board of L-Nutra. And we'll have, if you go to latenighthealth.com, we'll have a pretty picture of the doctor as well as a link so that you can find out more about L-Nutra's products and what they do if you're interested. Doctor, will you come back and visit with me again?
Yeah, for sure. I think we left it at the right exciting time for people to take action. So maybe we do second episode and we give them some solutions that they can adopt right away.
That would be great. I will keep that in mind. I'm Mark Alyn. Daryl, thank you for coming out of the swamps that we're living in today.
My pleasure.
And thank you for everything you do. And thank you for watching and listening at home. Have a good week, everybody. Most importantly, have a healthy week. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.